Today, we are diving into a really weird trend that's shaking up the world of tech and finance. We're calling it the Great Fintech Squeeze. So here's the puzzle. More money than ever is flooding into financial technology, right? But fewer and fewer startups are actually getting a piece of that pie. It feels like a total paradox. So what is going on here? Okay, let's look at the hard numbers because they really tell the story. In the first quarter of 2026, total fintech funding was actually up 5% from last year. Sounds good, right? Well, at the same time, the number of deals, the number of companies getting money, plummeted by over 31%. That is a massive, massive drop. And that, right there, is the Great Fintech Squeeze. It's this bizarre situation in venture capital where the rich are just getting richer, and all these innovative, early-stage companies are finding it harder than ever to even get noticed. I mean, we are talking about a staggering amount of capital, $12 billion poured into fintech in just the first 3 months of 2026. So the money is there, for sure. The real question is, where is it all going? Well, the answer really comes down to one thing: late-stage funding. See, instead of spreading their cash across a bunch of young, risky startups, investors are now putting all their chips on the big, mature companies that are already proven winners. It's a flight to safety. They're writing bigger checks for what they see as safer bets. And this chart, it just lays it all out. Look at that. Late-stage deals snapped up almost $7 billion of that $12 billion pie. That's up 8% from last year, and it basically means the big fish are swallowing most of the food in the pond. All right, so we know the money is going to bigger, later-stage companies, but where in the world are they? Let's follow the money trail and see where it leads. And when you look at the map, wow, there is one clear dominant winner. The United States just vacuumed up $6.3 billion. That's more than half of all the fintech funding on the entire planet in Q1. You can see the UK and India are next, but honestly, it's not even close. So all this concentrated cash has created this super exclusive club. You could call it the Unicorn VIP Club. And these are the companies that are pulling in these absolutely mind-blowing 9-figure funding rounds. And get this. Kalshi, a platform for prediction markets, raised $1 billion. $1 billion. Let that sink in. Then you've got Vestwell, a savings platform with $385 million. And Rain, which works with stablecoin payments with a cool $250 million. These aren't just big deals. These are market-shaping mountains of cash. So what's the big idea here? What's driving investors to write checks this big? What are they betting on? Well, you probably guessed it. The answer is artificial intelligence. But it's not just any AI. Investors see this huge evolution happening right now. We're moving past the idea of AI copilots, little assistants that help you with simple tasks. Now we're entering the era of reasoning agents. These are autonomous AI systems that can handle entire, complex financial workflows all by themselves. That's the real game changer they're betting on. And this quote right here, it just sums up the whole mood perfectly. The belief in AI is just off the charts. Investors aren't just optimistic, they are, quote, highly bullish, and they are putting billions of dollars where their mouth is. All right, so all this late-stage money, it's all supposed to lead to one thing: going public, an IPO. But here's the final twist in the story. That road to an IPO is way more uncertain than it's ever been. You'd think with all this cash, the next step is obvious, right? Go public, ring the bell on Wall Street, make a fortune. Well, not so fast. For these fintech giants, the exit strategy is surprisingly murky. So what's holding them back? Well, there are some pretty big hurdles. First, geopolitical instability is making the markets really nervous. And second, everybody is holding their breath, waiting to see how these upcoming mega-IPOs from companies like SpaceX and OpenAI are going to perform. If those huge names stumble, it could freeze the whole market, forcing these unicorns to stay private way longer than planned. And that leaves us with a really critical question, one that affects the future of innovation for all of us. This squeeze, yeah, it creates giants, but it might also be starving the very ecosystem that's supposed to grow the next big thing. So, as the big get bigger, you have to wonder, where is the next great idea even supposed to come from?